Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Hope you've had your vitamin C, the real one. And we're always happy to have folks come on with us and say hello. We'll do that this morning and say hello to Brahim from Portland, Oregon, and Mike from Norland. 1 and 2, 2 and 1. These guys are right at the top of the food chain. Rosa from Montreal, Manette, good morning to you. Kevin from Oshawa. And Bill, good morning. And Janice from Brampton. Michelle, how are you? Madeleine, how you doing? And Nellie, good morning. Nick from our staff, good morning. Rebecca, good morning. And yes, she's had her coffee. Nova Scotia, Georgie. Cecilia, Sudbury, snowing. Francis, good morning. Marilyn, Kelowna. Fran, Orangeville. And Brahim says he sees Kevin. Nick from Hearst. Nicole, bonjour. Donna, Park Hill. And Larice from the Philippines. Good morning. Or probably, what is it? Wendy, Dorothy, Robin from Connecticut. And Tracy, good morning. Lorraine from British Columbia. And Sandra, good morning. And Leo, snowy Bowmanville. And Linda, Wendy from London, good morning. Wanda from Ridgeway. Jeanette from our staff, good morning to you. Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Leela from Verner. And Julie, good morning. Rita, Long Lac, Ontario. And Keith, good morning to you. And Carol from Moncton, New Brunswick. Sedelia, I probably mispronounced that. And Shelley, good morning. Laurie from Cambridge. And Sue, Deb from Timmins. Luella, I guarantee they got snow in Timmins. Maureen from Penticton, BC. Donna from Bell Valley, Ontario. And Sue, hello. Sonia, Aylmer, couple more. Jane, good morning to you. And Marcia, hola, from Mexico. Joyce from Kansas. We appreciate you guys. Another Donna, Natalia from Tirana. And Marilyn from Edmonton. Really cold, apparently, isn't it? Dave, Mark. You know, winter didn't get the memo till recently. And Mara, it's cold all over. Okay, guys, this is two new studies came out, and they're groundbreaking. Blow your socks off studies. Peer-reviewed, and I doubt you're going to hear much about them. But I got to tell you, these studies are absolutely incredible. I mean it. Like, for me, even this sort of takes my breath away. And the reason is because it's unreal. Okay? Now, one of them is on autoimmune disease. Okay? Peer-reviewed, looked at 14,000 people over 5 years. And here's the headline of this study. Okay? Major clinical trial showed that getting enough vitamin D and omega-3 reduced autoimmune by 25 to 30%. Guys, that's incredible. like today, autoimmune's been around a long time, obviously. But nothing puts a dent in autoimmune, according to this study, like vitamin D and omega-3. Okay? Omega-3 fish oil. Okay? Nothing touches it. And they're saying a reduction of 25 to 30% compared to double blind, compared to placebo, compared to anything else. This is the headline. Now, like I said, good luck getting this in mainstream media. Good luck. There's a war going on, and I've told you a million times on vitamin D. They don't like it. In Canada, if they get their way, you're going to be able to use vitamin D with the sun, and that's it. Because they really want to get rid of vitamin D supplementation. And if Health Canada gets its way, they literally you'll need a prescription to get vitamin D. And doctors, come on. They don't know anything about it other than bones. And I like sun, steak, and steel. I've been telling you for years the importance of vitamin D. Autoimmune decreased 25 to 30%. Two things. Now, if you ask me, of course, I'd add, you guys know this, I would add another supplement. I would have probiotics, because all autoimmune diseases start in the gut. So when you look at rheumatoid arthritis, when you look at ulcerative colitis, when you look at Crohn's, when you look at psoriasis, eczema, skin conditions, Sjogren's, Graves' disease, thyroid, or Hashimoto's thyroid. Guys, it starts in the gut. It starts in the gut. But this research over 5 years showed just by taking vitamin D and omega-3, guys, you know my Fab 5. Okay? I mean, I've been preaching this for a long time. Because some people say, well, Doc, you don't need to supplement if you eat properly. Well, look, we live in a different world. We live in, look, you know me, I put food first all the time. And even in this autoimmune, if they allowed me to sort of get the study, and I would say, like, look at, put the reset in there too. Because what I've seen over the years, when you eliminate sugar, eliminate crappy carbohydrates, eliminate seed oils, it really helps autoimmune big time. And I always start with the diet even before I talk about supplementation. But this study was strictly on 2 supplements. Okay? Now, I got to bring you another one. Okay? This, again, earth-shattering, groundbreaking, knock your socks off study, peer-reviewed, and you got to search for it to find it. But here's the headline of the study number 2. Groundbreaking, peer-reviewed study can reduce the number 2 killer cancer by 60%. Guys, well, cancer's complex, okay? Cancer's complex. But there's some things we know, okay? There's some things we know. This study looked at 3 things that reduced cancer 60%. And guys, that's earth-shattering. That is headline making. That is, everybody and their dog should hear about this. Everybody. Because cancer, who the heck isn't affected by cancer in this world? And they're telling us in this study, peer-reviewed, looked at and analyzed a meta-analysis, and they said there's 3 things that will reduce your cancer by 60%. Your risk of cancer by 60%. Okay? There's going to be some repetition with the autoimmune one. Because you guys would already say it. My audience knows this. Here's what they said. Okay? Here's what this study said. Mega study, meta study, of all studies. If you take vitamin D, if you take omega-3, and the third one is if you take vitamin E, the real one, exercise. Okay? They said if you do those 3 things in this study, a study of a meta-analysis of looking at all the studies, if one takes vitamin D, put your hand up if you take vitamin D. I do. And if, you live in even in Florida, there hasn't been much sun. But generally, right? Like the sun, not causing cancer, preventing cancer. Who knew? You knew, and I knew. But now, when they look at all the studies, vitamin D, and listen, they're only talking about 2,000 IUs. I mean, a mouse gets 2,000 IUs. But I'm only the messenger on this studies. Vitamin D, omega-3, plus exercise. Active, moving. And you know me, metabolically, where I look at exercise, there's lots of options. I love walking. I do. But I'm much bigger on you getting strong. And I believe that's the number 1 exercise, is strengthening exercise, resistant exercises. For a lot of reasons, but metabolically, what it does to insulin, okay? Now, guys, if they called me and said, look, we're going to do a study, what would you do? Well, I wouldn't ever argue with the 3 things they did. Vitamin D, you guys know me, sun, steak, and steel. What do I talk about all the time? The sun, vitamin D, you need vitamin D, vitamin C, okay, the other one. Because if you listen to a lot of doctors, I mean gurus, they would tell you vitamin C, I mean ascorbic acid. Not me. I'd tell you coffee, yes. Okay? But I remember Linus Pauling. He won a Nobel Prize for his work on vitamin C, ascorbic acid. He was a guru, very smart I love that guy. But I always said, well, he missed by one letter in the alphabet. He missed out on vitamin D. Because vitamin D is better than vitamin C. Now, it's close if you consider vitamin C coffee. Vitamin D, coffee, close. Actually, here's me. If they would have come to me, I would have added, to the 3 things to prevent cancer. Guys, they found the answer. Vitamin D, omega-3. Why? What does omega-3 do? You guys know that. What does high DHA do? It dissolves tumors. In 14 days? I'll post that again if I get a chance today, okay? I'll post on the private Facebook group. Vitamin D, omega-3, vitamin E, exercise. Okay? Move. Exercise. I would have added no sugar. Okay? You know what we've known since 1929, I believe. Okay? You know what we've known since 1929? Hidden unbelievable. Because the food industry is, we've known since 1929. I remember studying this back in the 70s. The Warburg effect. You know who Otto Warburg was? Well, he was a scientist, very smart man, lived in Germany, and he said, back in 1929, cancer cells are ravenous. That's the word he used. They're ravenous. Okay? They're ravenous for sugar. Otto Warburg in 1929 said that. And they had what they call the Warburg effect. Hidden. After World War II, nobody even talked about it. I mean, you'd have to go digging. But he said in 1929 that cancer cells are ravenous. They only feed on sugar, glucose. Hello? What does that mean? Okay? Because Otto Warburg said this in 1929. A cancer cell is 400 times more receptive to glucose than anything else. Hello? I guess we should cut back on sugar. Oh, Dr. Martin, I was called a quack. I had a lot of people from the cancer. I had a lot of patients that worked at the cancer hospital in Sudbury. Okay? I had a lot of patients that came, not cancer patients, although I had a lot of those. People that worked there, staff, nurses, doctors, well, a few doctors, mostly nurses. And they used to put my Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie in there. I said, don't give them Boost. You're going to boost their cancer. Don't give them Ensure. You're going to ensure that they got a Tim Hortons and selling donuts in the cancer clinic there. I used to give me a migraine, a headache. 400 times. So this study said 3 things. Man, oh man, isn't that incredible? if you get vitamin D, if you take omega-3, okay? And if you exercise, they said, man, you reduce your risk of cancer by 60%. What else would be that good? I mean, other than, like I said, I'm adding no sugar. Okay? Isn't that incredible, guys? It's incredible. And we see these studies come out, and they barely make any headlines. You got to go search to find them. I mean, crazy. It's too simplistic, isn't it? There's no money in vitamin D. There's no money in the sun. There's no money in omega-3. There's no money in exercise. I mean, maybe gyms make some money. But guys, you don't have to go to a gym to exercise. And so these things get buried. They get buried. Autoimmune, imagine autoimmune, how disabling. How that affects people's lifestyle like you would not believe. And here's a study saying you can reduce it 25 to 30% by taking vitamin D and omega-3. Guys, why do you think I'm so passionate? Now, there's no guarantees in life other than death and taxes. But isn't it good to put a 60% decrease in your risk of cancer? Okay, there are no guarantees, but think about it. Here we are in 2024. And research is telling us what to do. And if you want to know, okay, guys, again, Dr. Martin's overarching principles. We have a food industry that does not care about your health. If you understand that, you just have to understand that. You start with that. The food industry, big. Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, Kraft, you name it. There's only about 8 or 9 companies and they run the world's food supply. They don't care about our health. They care about the almighty buck. And then you have a pharmaceutical industry and a medical industry that knows nothing about food. Dr. Martin, the sun. You should see some of the faces when I wrote that book, Sun, Steak, and Steel. Do you really mean it? You're kidding me, right? No, I'm not kidding you. Vitamin D. Come on. You could get toxic. You can get, if you take too much vitamin D, it'll kill you. Not that there's ever been a case. Not ever once. But that's all right. It's a narrative. Oh, you're gonna destroy your kidneys and get kidney stones, and they never see it, but it's the narrative. Makes me ill. Guys. Okay, I want to post these things after. Okay? And I know you're going to have some questions about it. But I'm telling you guys, I mean, I don't know how we're going to do it after. We got to flag this podcast. Guys, share the podcast. I know it's being shared. It'll be shared. It'll get to 10,000 people today. But get it to more than that. Send it to your friends. Okay, guys. Tomorrow, question and answer Friday. Have you signed up for our webinar next week? Tony Jr. and I starring. Tony Jr. is starring. I'm going to be his sidekick next week. Okay? You're going to enjoy it. Okay? On metabolic. So we're gonna have a great time together. Okay, we love you. We'll talk to you soon.